Coming up on our primetime news tonight, the Holy Father Pope Francis makes first appearance since his discharge from the Gemelli Hospital. He was at the Vatican during the closing mass in honor of the sick on Sunday. On his pastoral visit to St. Jude Thaddeus Parish, Dibanda, the community alarmed plea for a good structure for the education of young Cameroonians in that part of the diocese. And diocesan youths prepare for the 40th edition of the World Youth Day as they also galvanize to celebrate 75th anniversary of the diocese this Palm Sunday, April 13. Good evening. Those are top stories on tonight's newscast. In the minutes right ahead, we'll give you in greater details. Thanks for keeping the rendezvous with us for yet another primetime news on the Divine Mercy Radio Television. We take off tonight from the headquarters of the Church in Rome. Recent updates from the Vatican holds that the Holy Father, Pope Francis, after 2 weeks, has made his first appearance since being discharged from Rome's Gemelli Hospital. He was at St. Peter's April 6th during the closing ceremony of Jubilee Celebration Mass in honor of the sick. Bernard Asongne tells us more.
After being discharged from Rome's Gemelli Hospital 2 weeks ago, on March 23, 2025, Pope Francis has made his first public appearance at St. Peter's Square, marking a period of over 2 months since the last appearance of Pope Francis at St. Peter's Square on February 9, 2025. He has surprised the people and appeared unannounced, speaking to the crowd. He thanked everyone and wished them a happy Sunday.
Buona domenica a tutti, grazie tante.
This appearance of the Holy Father in the final moments of the liturgical celebration for the Jubilee celebration dedicated to the sick and healthcare workers presents significantly a message full of meaning.
It was a beautiful experience. I started crying. I never imagined I would be able to be here, and it was just, I don't know how to explain it. It was just a feeling that I have no words for. It was beautiful.
This appearance in a more fine fashion points to the fact that even in the time of virtual reality, in the time when we believe we can participate in everything from behind a computer screen, the Pope teaches from his action that being physically present is very important.
We were very excited. I love Pope, and I am very glad to be there. So everything was very, very special for me.
Highlighting the Pope's concern and dedication to the sick, to those who suffer, and to those who care for those who suffer, those still showing signs of illness, frail among the frail, he has not given up living his Jubilee, conversing in the Basilica and as well going through the Holy Door as thousands do every day. As the Pope's surprise appearance speaks to the people of the pastor's relationship with his flock and of the bishop with the people, it also speaks of his love for the people of God to whom he has always spoken, not in words only, but with actions and tenderness.
We bring you back to the Diocese of Buea, where the Our Lady of Perpetual Help Grotto is now open for use by all faithful. This follows the inauguration at Regina Angelorum Parish, Bojongo, by the Bishop of the Diocese of Buea. The grotto is expected to meet its spiritual purpose after the blessing by Bishop Michael Baby last Saturday. Catholic faithful in the diocese and beyond have been exhorted to make good use of this grotto. Sama Eileen gives us details.
His Lordship Michael Bibi, in the company of Reverend Father Victor Chijioke Silvanus, Parish Priest of Queen of Angels Parish Bojongo, Reverend Father Epie Emmanuel, and other Christians, officially inaugurated the Our Lady of Perpetual Help Grotto Saturday, April 5.
This grotto is there, so maybe we use them. Maybe we offer prayers. Say through Mama intercession, God will continue for lookout way. God will continue for support way. So that when we own life too for this ground, it will come to an end. We too will join with Mama Maria for God the King country, for singing praises them forever.
Reverend Father Victor Chijioke Silvanus, Parish Priest and Director of the Diocesan Pilgrimage Center Bojongo, says the grotto was built through contributions and efforts of an anonymous benefactor, among others.
This grotto started from the generosity of a sister who decided to help us with the grotto. Then the pilgrims and Christians, they joined together, all of us. We put our heads together, and as it might interest you to know that we have worked on this grotto for more than 2 years now, at least, trying to actualize it today. And it is a thing of thanksgiving to God.
The importance of having a grotto at the Pilgrimage Center in Bojongo cannot be underestimated.
I know that every priest is a Marian priest, but I'm a special son of Mary, and that is why I decided to put the grotto of Our Lady. And that's Our Lady of Perpetual Help. I think I put it because since this place is a pilgrimage center, we experience a lot and we hear a lot from people. And that particular devotion to Our Lady of Perpetual Help is a special devotion that helps Christians at least to overcome their trouble. So that they should try as much as possible to intensify their devotion to our Blessed Mother Mary by visiting this grotto and praying through our Blessed Mother Mary, who is always there to intercede for us.
Christians in the diocese and beyond have been urged to make maximum use of the newly inaugurated grotto of Our Lady of Perpetual Help at Queen of Angels Parish Bojongo for their spiritual nourishment.
We now take you back to Dibanda, that is St. Jude Thaddeus Nursery Primary School, where the head teacher there has revealed that the school enrollment will tremendously increase if the school gets a befitting and permanent structure. She was speaking to the Bishop of Buea over the weekend during the prelate's pastoral visit to that parish. Aloysius Leakey accompanied the bishop. He did this report for the Primetime News.
The head teacher, staff and pupils of St. Jude Thaddeus Nursery and Primary School, My 14 Dibanda, have expressed the challenges the school is facing to the proprietor of Catholic schools in the Diocese of Buea, Bishop Michael Bibi. This was as the bishop paid a visit to the school to see the state of the buildings, get first-hand information about the challenges and discuss possible solutions to their problems. The head teacher, Mr. Tutsi Leonard, says lack of permanent structures and an office space are amongst their list of worries.
The first challenge that I would say is the boys around here, they are really making things difficult for us. Like all the classes, they are not having doors. When we put locks, they come and break and enter inside. And then the worst is that when they enter, they urinate inside the classrooms. As we are looking around, all the doors are open. The only structure that we're having there, I even gave them one toilet that they can be using so that they should not enter inside, but they still come and excrete in the class, and so on. The books that we are having, we don't have an office. We are using the toilet, 2 toilets, to be packing school things inside and locking it. When they come, they destroy the lock, and they will come, textbooks are missing and all the like. So there are so many challenges. The walls, if you look around, they're all having, farmers are passing, and you are teaching, they're laughing at you. So when they're outside or what, they use terrible language on us. The benches, the floors, all. So we are just managing.
Mr. Leonard says the bishop, after seeing and listening to their worries, have promised to put up a permanent structure for the primary and nursery school.
He's promised that he's going to, with a possible way forward, that he's going to see how they'll put a story building beside this one, and then I think we are so happy for that.
He He appreciates the bishop's visit and recalled that should a befitting permanent structure be put in place, enrollment will increase.
I'm really thanking the bishop for the concern that he has come behind to see all the difficulties, how we are managing the school. By 2025, 26, we should have even 4 classrooms that are of cement block, so that the children can really, because if the enrollment, the buildings, if we have good structure here, we would have had a wonderful, tremendous population. Even now, we still have population of 100 and almost 30 something, just because of the buildings and the walls and everything. So if we put it, this school will be one of the most thickly populated school in this my 14th Banda. Thank the parish priest too. At least he has tried to make sure that the school is moving on well. He is the one who constructed this fence. And if you look, they have destroyed the other side just because they want to be passing in the middle year. When we are teaching, they want to be passing and all the like.
Created in the year 2007, the school has been through the Anglophone crisis, and with the crisis gradually giving way, it is time for all to put hands on deck to give the school a new facelift.
Let's now talk about projects in the Diocese of Buea, and this time around we talk about one of the prominent projects in the Diocese of Buea being the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral, where work continues at the Co-Cathedral ahead of some significant upcoming diocesan events in the month of April and May. The ceiling staff and placement of plastic lambris has been completed. What is left to be done is the electrification of the central place of worship and cleaning of the entire building as the diocese prepares for Cathedraticum come April 15, 2025. From our newsroom, Magdalene Wondo made a stop at the Co-Cathedral this day. She compiled this report.
At the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral, the scaffold have been removed in the entire building and the placement of plastic lambris ceiling in the central section of worship has been completed. Chi Lawrence, CEO of Toxin Construction Company, recounts the work done on the ceiling.
When they say me I do the work, I get big fear from my heart about the ceiling for the church, the lambris for the center point. I'm very, very, very grateful today, because of a successful project we have just completed in the cathedral. The lambris that we were putting about the past 2 months, we were struggling here, was a very delicate job. Starting with the scaffold, we struggled to finish with the scaffold, and we started the lambris. Every day I was wondering whether the lambris will ever get finished. But thank God, today we have finished everything, successfully finished. Viewers can look at it and it is very perfect. Very grateful because no wound, even a scratch, a worker didn't have.
Also, the other places of worship like the upper floor of the building have staff ceiling being completely placed. Electrification and cleaning of the edifice is on the way to prepare the place of worship for upcoming diocesan events.
We are struggling to do the cleaning now. All the sticks have been sent out. I hope by tomorrow, this small little piece of lambris, they will be sent out, and then the church is clean. The staff is finished, lambris is finished. So the only job left in this church now is the electrician to come and electrify this area, this center point where the lambris has been put. We don't finish send stick there for outside today, all stick inside here, don't go out. Now the particles of lambris peppers, where they still remain for sending out, they do the cleaning of the church.
Christians of the Diocese of Buea and beyond, through their support to the ongoing projects, stay upbeat for the completion of these projects before the 75th anniversary come May 7, 2025.
Indeed, how beautiful is the Co-Cathedral at this point in time, and I'm sure Christians of the Diocese of Buea look forward to beholding this edifice with this new facelift come the 15th of April 2025. The choristers of Men's Choir of St. Martin de Porres Parish, Bokwango, have been challenged to grow spiritually, morally, and financially, nurturing both their musical talent and personal relationship in service to the church. This was during their Lenten recollection under the theme, As Time Dissolved to Eternity, Who Am I Becoming? The event took place on Monday at the church premises, led by Reverend Father Alphonse Wongebe, a priest of the Diocese of Buea. Nadesh Nenchongme has more.
Characterizing a period of deep and recollected introspection to balance their affliction, choristers of Men's Choir of St. Martin the Porres Parish, Bukwango, gathered at the parish premises for their Lenten recollection, facilitated by Reverend Father Alphonse Wongebe. Under the theme, As Time Dissolved to Eternity, Who Am I Becoming? The focus was on spiritual growth and strengthening one's connection with society, drawn from the Gospel according to Mark chapter 6 verse 30 to 34.
Areas I touched that as time dissolves to eternity, first of all, they should become spiritually strong, growth in their spiritual lives. As time dissolves to eternity, they should become morally upright, moral integrity. It will make them to be credible in society. And also, as time dissolves into eternity, they should also be financially, materially strong. It's not all about prayers, also developing skills and strategies to sustain their future and to realize their dreams also. And lastly, to mend their relationships with each other, not keeping people in the hearts.
Father Alphonse Wongebe encouraged the choristers to grow not only in their spiritual lives, but also in their knowledge of music to serve the people with their voices.
Each year, 1 year from year to year, and there's no progress or growth in my musical life. I should not remain stagnant and in a static position. So also, as time dissolves towards eternity or to eternity, they should equally grow in their knowledge of music to better serve the people when they sing in church.
Choristers engage themselves with spiritual activities like Stations of the Cross, Rosary Prayer, Exposition of the Blessed Sacrament, amongst others. At the end of the recollection, some choristers expressed joy participating in this one-day spiritual activity.
I think as choristers, we should become people who improve with time as well. People should sing better as time goes on. People who are able to take up challenges. People who are able to take up spiritual activities in their lives throughout as choristers. We should not also forget that it was an enriching experience and that we should also remember those who are not able to be with us today, and we should take this message along with them to bring them closer to life as choristers, life as Christians of God in Bukwango.
Very filled, very happy spiritually, because I have at least communed with my God. I have taken some time out of my work and I've come to spend some time with God to talk to Him and to also listen to Him. So I'm going back very refreshed spiritually.
As they return to their respective homes, they are encouraged to continue growing spiritually, morally, and financially, nurturing both their musical talent and personal relationships as they continue their service to the church.
We stay and talk about youth still in the church. This time around, youths of the Diocese of Buea have been called upon to take stock of their activeness in the church after 75 years of existence. Sister Pamela Bongben of the Sisters of St. Anne, representative of the Diocesan Pastoral Formation Team, was speaking during a meeting held at the Diocesan Youth Chaplaincy in Motengene, Sunday, April 6th, to plan for the 40th edition of the World Youth Day celebration with the Bishop. This is billed for Palm Sunday, when the youths will all engage in celebrations marking 75 years of the existence of the Diocese of Buea. From our newsroom, Hilarion Tokov gives details.
The Sunday 6 April meeting of the Diocesan Youth Council was an emergency gathering summoned by the youth chaplain, Reverend Father Ansem KB. He chaired the meeting, which had as its main bullet points the celebration of the 40th edition of the World Youth Day with the Bishop on Palm Sunday and 2025 Cathedraticum in the presence of Sister Pamela Bongbe, representative of the Diocesan Pastoral Council Formation Team. Her presentation to these youth leaders centered on the active participation of youth in the church's activities. According to her, the 75th anniversary celebration of the diocese for the youth should be a moment for them to take stock of their activities in the church after these years.
It's the first contact we are taking with the leaders, and as a pastoral formation team, it is our duty to ensure that the formative life of the Christian is taken care of at all the areas. Being the first meeting, actually, it was a kind of connecting and recommending, empowering the leaders to see how 75 years after, we are no longer just Christians who are spoon-fed at every moment by the pastors, but that as leaders we gain that consciousness that as Christian leaders, though youth, we are fully involved in the work of evangelization of the church of the diocese. So today was more a presentation of what any Christian leader should be able to have as a formative guide. The Word of God, the Catechism of the Catholic Church, the related teachings of the magisterium.
As these youth figures deliberated on the main point of the day, the general emphasis was on the Palm Sunday gathering with the bishop to mark the 40th anniversary of the World Youth Day, as stated by the president, Leonard Fombach, in an interview.
On the Palm Sunday / the 75th anniversary celebration of the Diocese of Buea by the Youth Federation of the Diocese of Buea. And so in the course of the meeting, we've discussed some emergency plans and activities that we are going to carry out on that day, beginning with the celebration of the Palm Sunday Mass itself. And after Mass, we are going to have some other activities which we are going to carry out. We are going to have animations, and we are going to show to the bishop that we are also there. We have always been behind him, supporting him in our small corners that we are.
2025 Cathedraticum was also discussed during the session, which the youth executives, Leonard Fombach, DYC president, assessed the youth's preparedness for this year's annual support to the bishop.
We have always been behind him, supporting him in our small corners that we are, because he too has been supporting the youth ministry wholeheartedly, and we are very grateful for the support that he has been giving ever since he came to this diocese. And also, we are going to come out powerfully on the day of the Cathedraticum to come and give our own support to the bishop, to also help him help the entire diocese, and to see that the work of evangelization in the diocese moves forward. And so these are the things that we came to discuss with the leaders of the different parishes.
The nearly 4 hours deliberations ended with the leaders enthusiastic about implementing the decisions arrived at during the emergency meeting on April 6, 2025.
We now take you out of Cameroon. Authorities in Algeria have suspended flights to Mali over airspace violations. The two countries are key players in West Africa and will be watched by other countries in the region. And a makeup artist in Nigeria has been jailed for spraying banknotes at a wedding in violation of a law aimed at protecting the dignity of the naira. These international stories and more in the next report with Sama Eileen.
Lieutenant General Tadez Werede has been named interim president of the Tigray region, placing Getachew Reda. Before his appointment Tuesday, April 8, 2025, Tadez acted as the deputy president of Tigray's interim administration and head of the Cabinet Secretariat for Peace and Security. He has been mandated to ensure the full return of internally displaced persons, IDPs, to their original homes. In a one-page document he signed, he is also expected to ensure the swift disarmament and reintegration of former combatants in line with the Pretoria Agreement. The swearing-in ceremony was attended by key dignitaries from the government and newly elected chairperson of the African Union AU, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf. There were concerns in the region that the widening political split within the Tigray People's Liberation Front could lead to a full-fledged civil war like the one that ended in 2022 with the signing of peace agreement. Elsewhere, Algeria has banned flights to and from Mali after repeated violations of its airspace, according to the country's state television. The move comes amid rising tensions between the two countries. The decision announced on Sunday follows a series of incidents where Mali's aircraft allegedly violated Algeria's airspace. In response, the government has taken action to ensure its sovereignty and security in the region. Mali, which has faced ongoing security challenges in recent years, has yet to formally respond to Algeria's latest move. This development could further strain diplomatic relations between the two countries. As the situation unfolds, analysts suggest the airspace ban could impact regional travel and trade. The two nations are key players in West Africa, and their tensions will be closely watched by other governments in the region. And in Nigeria, a makeup artist has been sentenced to 6 months in prison for publicly tossing local currency during his wedding celebration in violation of a law aimed at protecting the dignity of the naira. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) announced the sentence on Monday, saying the Federal High Court in Kano, northern Nigeria, convicted Abdullahi Musa Hussaini, popularly known as Amuskap, for what it described as the abuse and defacement of banknotes. Hussaini was seen throwing 100,000 naira notes during his December wedding, an act known locally as praying. While the practice is a vibrant feature of Nigerian festivities, especially weddings and parties, it is technically illegal under a 2007 law that prohibits mishandling of the national currency. Critics say the law is being applied inconsistently, often targeting high-profile figures, while supporters argue it is necessary to maintain respect for the naira as Nigeria grapples with inflation and a weakening currency.
With that, we've come to the end of the primetime news. Just before we go, let's make a stop again at the top stories. The Holy Father Pope Francis makes first public appearance since his discharge from the Gemelli Hospital. He was at the Vatican during the closing mass in honor of the sick on Sunday. On his pastoral visit to St. Jude Thaddeus Parish, Dibanda, the community alarmed plea for a good structure for the education of young Cameroonians in that part of the diocese. And diocesan youths prepare for the 40th edition of World Youth Day as they also galvanize to celebrate 75th anniversary of the diocese this Palm Sunday, April 13. Join us tomorrow yet again for another edition of the Primetime News on the Divine Mercy Radio Television. Meanwhile, we thank you for your keen and kind attention to all the stories we brought to your notice this day. Stay blessed in the company of programs on the Divine Mercy Radio Television. Good night.